observe, if you want to, just your feelings a little bit, how calm you feel. You'll notice that the first time you try it. It's a great way to relax if you're stressed, like on the freeway in traffic. Just for a second, just start noticing your breathing, and you'll notice how quickly you can actually calm down and become less stressful. When you get very good at this, your concentration will develop to the point where for several minutes no unwanted thoughts come in. You have no thoughts whatsoever. All you're doing is observing the breath. At that particular point, when you get deeper immersed into this exercise, you'll see that we have our eyes closed, by the way, if possible here, if you want to try this. It's easier that way. Don't do that on the freeway, though. What will happen is when you get deeper immersed in this, kind of a bright spot or a sohar of light will begin to appear in your eyes. This is like a light of enlightenment, and this is indicative of the fact that you are beginning to sense the spiritual plane. If other images appear like visions or ideas, then this is not a success. This is self-suggestion, and this is the beginning of euphoric meditation that we want to watch out for. So if other images, stories, daydreams start to appear, just dash those out. We don't want those. Those are unwanted things. This is not progress at all. If after a thorough exercise, a deep exercise is obtained, you should immediately engage in a clear sight observation to find out the full benefit of this. Which means that you would entertain the thought that has come to you. If a deep feeling of some kind comes out of that, you want to reflect on that for a while and look for the real meaning of that, because things will start coming out of your spirit and appearing as you begin this exercise. But that's the first exercise. I would say that you would practice that every day, 2 or 3 times a day, maybe for 5 minutes each, and do that for a couple of weeks to the point where it gets very easy to concentrate, where you can immediately concentrate on your breathing with no problem, where the 3 stages of the breathing become very clear to you, and where hopefully some sort of deep concentration begins, where you begin to see this sohar light which just naturally appears in your eyes. Okay? One thing that should be made clear at the close of this breathing exercise, this breathing observation exercise, something you should know about, that you can make progress at this anytime you want to. It's just necessary for you to remain alert, remain honest with yourself, and don't try to cheat. Block out any unwanted visions and so forth. You cannot come to any harm to this unless you allow these self-suggestive illusions and things that appear to get the better of you. Don't follow them. However, anyone who preserves his moral mental equilibrium and does this the way that you're instructed here by keeping your mind clear, there's absolutely no danger at all whatsoever in here. The first signs of success during meditative exercise is the occurrence of very vague and at first incoherent forms of dream images in the waking state without the meditation person concentrating upon such images or wishing to see them. So after you've done a breathing exercise and you get a deep thing, in the waking state in your conscious mind you begin to see some sort of incoherent forms or dream images. These images are first forms of beginning meditation immersion. They distinguish themselves unmistakably from a normal dream image by their very extreme clarity and distinctness. If the meditative exercise is handled properly, the images do not exhibit any power of suggestion and gradually begin to link up with logical forms. Though in the beginning, though, it's only very loosely, but in the end they generally reveal the whole course of an event. You see, these events are conditions generally of the past, present, or the future, whereby these are not coded in any sort of symbolism as in the case of a normal dream. Dreams are generally symbols of ideas and things that you're working out and aren't accurate. But these are very clear sight visions of a past, present, or future. The waking state dream images of the meditation are clear and very distinct. They always show events in their order of development, which is another key. This enables the meditating individual to recognize the events very clearly, but the task still remains to examine, by the way of new meditative occurrences, the period and their connections, what they're really all about. So you will experience, once you begin to practice your exercise and get deeper and deeper into it, once that's over, during your normal waking state material consciousness, you'll start to get dream images that are kind of incoherent, and you can't seem to connect them. But they will just keep coming stronger. This is your spirit beginning to show you things. You're beginning to get in touch with different knowledges of your spirit from the past, present, and the future. The investigation of these events released by your waking state dreams prove extremely difficult and laborious. If you have to have a good place to do this. If you're in the everyday world with billions of people, if you're in a high population area, it's almost impossible with all these billions of people and their trains of thoughts. So you need to find an isolated area, and generally a pyramid is required in order to do this, to isolate outside influences of thought. If you use a pyramid, it has to be of exact measurements and form. As a matter of fact, if you have access to the exact measurements and form of the Great Pyramid Giza, that's the ones to use. The pyramid should also include kind of a vibration in a very definite direction, where you point that to a certain area north, and you'll learn all about that in the pyramid book. If you begin to meditate and you achieve these very first successes in the breathing exercise and it gets deep, the appearance of the waking state dreams then indicate that it's time for you to learn the actual immersion techniques and the colors that go with it, so you can develop even farther. Basically, this meditation exercise we've been talking about is a rule of relaxation, and it's a very standard way of doing things, but there are other ways to do it. Once you've done that, we're no longer going to pay any attention to the breath. We're now going to develop a different meditative immersion technique using color. And this can be done basically just lying down, where you flatten yourself out, loosen up and relax the body very well. Close your eyes, loosen up and relax. Again, breathe deeply in and out 3 times, just like we did before. This time, however, we're going to start forming definite thoughts, definite objects of our meditation that we're going to use. The object of our meditation may be to stop smoking, for instance, and the secondary object may be to link to happier times or link to a future time when you don't smoke and see yourself very happy. So we have a definite object in mind that we want to accomplish through the meditation. In contrast to the breathing meditation exercise, another process, this meditative immersion process, is dealing with color. This way, the observation is no longer turned towards your breathing, but has to be now directed towards your eyes, the back of your eyes once they're closed, so you can concentrate on the colors as the colors appear. The concentration then comes in the form of practicing and carrying out this concentration on these colors. That means the knowledge about the existence of the colors is present, which I'll go over now. You're going to understand the colors. You're not going to force the colors to come in. They naturally will come in based on the depth of immersion of your meditation. The depth of the immersion of your meditation, of course, is dependent upon your ability to concentrate and see a single thing, or concentrate on an object or a thought. Okay, that's what we did in our breathing practice. That's what we practiced on. See, in this way you simply know that the colors exist, but you don't have to do anything to manufacture them or cause them actually to come into your attention. Okay, the standard colors of meditative immersion consist of the tones blue, green, yellow, and red. Blue will first come in when we start the immersion technique. The first thing that will come in is the color blue. This represents the color of the presence, the life, and of your own existence. It's a very natural thing. It will just naturally come to you, the back of your eyes. The next color that will come is green, and that means that you're getting deeper into the meditation. This represents the color of the beginning change from the conscious into your subconscious. You're shutting down your conscious self, you're getting into your subconscious, as well as the beginning of the change from the present, moving into the past or possibly into the future. The third color is yellow. This represents the color of the concluded change from the conscious to the unconscious. So when the color yellow appears, you know